So many times we do not even understand how diametrically we are opposed to ourselves in things that we want or in experiences that we have where we have these two completely opposing beliefs or programs running at the same time that are in complete opposition to each other. I call this being diametrically opposed to yourself. It means like to be completely and utterly in opposition and not even realize it. So the thing that came up recently was that it's only okay for me to be supported if there is a problem, but I have to deny or hide that there's a problem so that I'm not a burden. Okay, that's what came up in a session. And I thought, wow, that's really, really big. How many people are dealing with something along those lines? I see so many people who they're needing support and that they have physical challenges, emotional challenges that are a result of this belief of in order to be seen, in order to be supported, in order to be loved, I have to have a problem. But at the same exact time, they are also running this belief of if I have a problem, I have to hide it because there's shame or guilt or like people will think I'm just wanting attention or like there's this other stuff going on. And so then I'm denying the support that I was trying to get in the first place. And it's not that you're like intentionally making yourself sick, but the things that go on in our subconscious, they're very much physically and outwardly made manifest. And so with an example is like as a child, it might be that there was not enough time going around for parents, but when you were sick, like your mom was like right there, very nurturing, very loving. And so you got the emotional time and attention and care that you needed, not when you were just sick, but all the time. And so there is this subconscious habit that starts kicking in of I need this, therefore in order for me to get my needs met I have to be sick. And so you would be like subconsciously, like consciously, even though you're not wanting that, subconsciously you are open to the being sick because, well, at least I get taken care of. And yet at the same time, consciously, you're thinking, I don't want to be sick. I want to be healthy. I feel like I'm a burden, or I feel like it's like taking away from all these other things I'd rather be doing. And there's this other stuff going on. So do you see how you can like be playing out these two things where you've got one thing going on, and then at the exact same time, you're like basically at war with yourself. And who wins in a war? No one. Somebody might think that they win the war, but did they really win the war? The answer is no, they didn't. Nobody ever wins war. Ever. How do you consider, like, if you're looking at like an actual war where you've got lives lost and property damage and all kinds of things like that on both sides, how does somebody call that a win? War is actually a lose-lose. So basically in this situation of being diametrically opposed to yourself, you are in a lose-lose situation. So what do? Well, first, it's important to kind of know what you're up against. And in this case, this was something that I was able to recognize in this session and feel that there was like this opposition. So it's like if you are in a situation where you're dealing with illness or disease, you can try on some different statements, some questions. And so in this case, maybe you would ask yourself, it is safe and good for me to be healthy and well and vibrant. And then, or even ask it as a question instead of a statement. It's like you can do both. It depends on you as an individual, which feels better to you. So you can either ask, is it safe for me to be well and healthy and vibrant and like feel? It's like, what does that feel like? It's like, what is the answer that comes up? Is it a yes? Is it a no? And if it's a yes, what are the buts? Only if, it's like there are certain things. It's like, well, only if it doesn't take away from this, or only if this, or you will tune into those things. And then with the other one, you can actually just feel it. It's like making it as a statement. It is safe and good and for me to be healthy and well and vibrant. And you can feel this resistance. Like if you think about it as magnets, it would be the equivalent of like if you have a positive and a negative and they'll like go together. It's like it feels good. It like attracts each other. With this situation, it would be like if you were the magnet and the thing that you're wanting, it's like you want it to come to you. Instead, it would feel like it was pushing it away. It's like, no, I don't want. It's like, no, I can't. Why? Ask the question. It's like, why? And tune into that. It's like, what would we say? It would look like this. It would look greedy. It would look selfish. It would look this. It's like, it would take too much time. I mean, just all kinds of things can come up. Write it down. Journal it out. And you can start to see these places where you're diametrically opposed to yourself and where you're at war. And that is the first step to ending war with yourself. Wouldn't that be a lovely thing? It's like, stop having war with ourselves. And there's more that can go into that. But I would just be really curious. List, like if you're seeing this, like list in the comments, where are you, like what did you discover about yourself? Where is a place where you are diametrically opposed to yourself? I had one person that I was working on an obsession with. We've been working with finances and money and the thoughts and ideas around it. And it was really fascinating because as we were talking about, okay, it's safe for me to have, $10,000. He instantly said, "Is like, oh no, I can feel it in my body. It's like this pushing it away. It's like, no, don't give it to me." Well, how can you be supported with money and income if that's what you're doing? We have this relationship with the ideas of money and health and well-being and thriving that we have no realization that we are subconsciously just pushing it away because we are so uncomfortable with these ideas. And if you're uncomfortable with the ideas, then you are not ever going to allow that to be a physical experience for you because you're so comfortable with being sick, or you're comfortable with being in struggle with your finances, or with being in struggle in your relationships. Like we accept war because it's familiar and it's comfortable. And so consider for yourself, is this something you want to continue because you're comfortable with it? Do you want to continue to be at war with yourself simply because you're comfortable? Or are you willing to grow? And it doesn't take a lot of effort all the time. It takes effort, but it doesn't have to be really challenging and difficult effort. It's a persistent, consistent effort. Give an example. I have been very much about in my life being the example I want to see in the world. And so yesterday I have affirmations. It's like, I am peace. I am joy. I am kindness. I am these qualities and attributes I want to be, and I really want to embody them. And I get that it's like not always completely accurate, but these are the things that I'm striving for. And so I'm owning them as though I'm presently that. And I was at the grocery store and come out and had stuff for the freezer and everything that I really just needed to go straight home. And lo and behold, I am not even kidding you, there was about 6 inches of space between the car next to me that was not there when I got there and me coming out. And I mean, there was no squeezing. I couldn't crawl over the seat because I didn't have, any room, because that's where all the groceries were. And I basically just had to sit and wait. And as I sat there, I mean, I was frustrated. I was irritated. I was just thinking, it's like, I don't even understand this. How could this person not even know that they were this close and then still be okay with like leaving their vehicle? And so I was like frustrated really bad. And even got some comments, like people watching me wait by my truck while I'm waiting for this person to come out. And, they're like, oh, holy cow. And I was like, what you gonna do? I'm like trying to take it in stride, but still feeling frustrated. And it was really interesting. I love that in the moments preceding the person coming out, I was reminded of the things I want to be that I am love, I am compassion, I am forgiveness, I am understanding, I am kindness, and these things. And it totally softened me because I don't want war anymore. I want peace. And so these things came back to me. And in that moment, you could tell that this person was startled and embarrassed, because I really believe that this person thought that they were just going to be in the store for like a quick second, right back out there in a hurry, you know, and just figured it was going to be okay. And I just, hello. And I just waited, and the person opened up the back of the car and loaded the groceries, and I held the basket so the basket didn't roll away. And they said thank you. And when the basket was empty, I just went and I moved it over, and then I waited for them to leave, and it was just, it didn't have to be a thing. It didn't have to be a thing. And even though I was frustrated in the moment when I found it, I'm so grateful that I was able to reconnect with that non-war part of me, that piece of no, I don't want this anymore. I want to be thriving. And part of thriving is being done with war. And so I just wanted to make this video. I wanted to share that with you. I wanted to give you some insights on that. If you have these things that you're noticing with you where you are diametrically opposed to yourself, because I'm pretty positive most of us are. I even still find things with myself where I am, it's like I want something, but then I see all these things where like I have beliefs from a child that are sitting in my subconscious that are still like getting in the way of me having the things that I want. I would love to hear about it. I would love to be able to help you through some things. It would be a really fun way to help you on your journey, and fun because it frees you up and it makes things light and playful and joyful. And I love the work that I do because it really is that. It gives so much hope and joy to people to release these old things that really just are not serving them. They've really never served us aside from giving us experience of things that we really don't want. But anyway, so I wanted to share that today, because that was something that was on my mind that had come up, and I've seen a lot of it lately in different clients that I've been working with. This is being diametrically opposed to oneself. And so I hope that this is kind of giving you an opportunity to think about what you're experiencing and see where you could give some freedom back to yourself with stopping the war within you. And I hope you have a wonderful and fantastic day, and I'll be on again in the near future. Love you. Bye.